Hello, Annabel.
Hi, Annabel. How are you?
Happy birthday from Granny and Grandpa. We saw you earlier and you were opening some lovely presents, weren't they?
Really lovely, yeah.
And I hope you enjoy them.
Yeah.
They look really good, didn't you?
They really did.
And you look very beautiful in your lovely dress.
Yeah, you did.
You did look like a real party girl,
Yeah.
I think, don't you, Grandpa?
I do.
Grandpa? Anyway, we're going to sing you a song, of course. There's only one song for your birthday, which is Happy Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Annabel. Happy birthday to you. Hooray! Have a lovely time, Annabel, and hope we'll be catching up with you soon. So Granny's got lots of jobs to do now, haven't you, Granny?
I have, unfortunately.
And so
but there we go.
Granny's
That's what
going to say
happens.
bye-bye, but I'm going to read you a little bit from Zoe's Rescue Zoo. I know you've listened to some of the stories I read to Oscar, so I'm going to read to you now. That'll be nice, won't
That'll
it,
be
Granny?
lovely. Have a lovely rest of the day, Annabel. We're thinking of you and love you lots too. Bye.
There we are. Bye, Granny. And I'll just move the camera around. So, what we're going to do is read Zoe's Rescue Zoo. And the story is The Puzzled Penguin. Oh, my goodness me. Chapter 1, Summer at the Rescue Zoo. Zoe Parker grinned as she ran out of the school gate, swinging her bag beside her. You had a bag today, didn't you? From Granny and Grandpa, your special bag for kindergarten. Zoe's mum, Lucy, was waiting for her. It's the summer holidays, Zoe yelled, giving her mum a big hug. Lucy smiled and ruffled her daughter's wavy brown hair. How was the last day of term, she asked. Zoe began to skip excitedly along the pavement. It was fun, but I just couldn't wait for the holidays to start. 6 whole weeks, she smiled at her mum. And I get to spend every single day at my favourite place. As they got closer to home, Zoe heard noises ahead. Roars, bellows, screeches and squeaks. Animal noises. Finally they turned a corner and there in front of them stood a pair of tall, beautiful gates with a line of lush oak trees on either side. The gates were made of golden wood and covered with delicate carvings of every sort of animal you could think of. There were majestic tigers, soaring eagles, snapping crocodiles, and elegant gazelles. About halfway up, 2 words were carved across the gates in swirling letters. Rescue Zoo. Right at the top, Granny's making a lot of noise. Granny, do you think you can possibly not make so much noise? Right at the top, a golden hot air balloon twinkled in the sunlight. A queue of excited visitors were streaming through the gates, but Zoe and her mum walked straight past them. As she stepped inside the zoo, a familiar, warm, happy feeling spread through Zoe's tummy. Home, sweet home, she whispered. Zoe and her mum weren't visiting the zoo, they lived there. Zoe's great-uncle Horace was a famous explorer, an animal expert, and on his travels around the world, he had met lots of animals in need of help. That was why he decided to build the zoo so it could be a safe place for any creature who was lost, injured, or in trouble. Now it was home to hundreds of amazing animals. Zoe's mum was Horace's niece and the zoo vet. The vet is the person who looks after all the animals, Annabel. She and Zoe lived in a little cottage on the edge of the zoo so that Lucy could be there whenever the animals needed her. Zoe couldn't imagine a better place to live. Beyond the gates, a red brick path wound its way through the zoo. On a warm summer's day like this, there were hundreds of visitors, chattering as they wandered past each enclosure. Now that school had finished, lots of families were starting to arrive. Zoe spotted Jack and Nicola from her class, still in their green and white school uniforms. She smiled and waved at them, and they waved back. That's Zoe, the girl I told you about, she heard Jack telling his dad. She lives here. It's so cool. And there, look, there's the picture of them outside the zoo, and Zoe waving to her friends. Well, it must be a great place, Annabel. I know you go to the wildlife park, don't you? I mean, that's absolutely fantastic as well. And the zoo is just like that, really. As Zoe and her mum made their way through the crowds to their cottage, Zoe heard an excited chattering noise above her. She looked up, shading her eyes from the bright sunlight. From the top of a sycamore tree, a tiny, furry face peeked cheekily down at her. "Meep," called Zoe, smiling. "Come down from there, you cheeky thing." With a swift leap, the little creature bounded down and landed nimbly on Zoe's shoulder. Zoe gathered the soft, warm bundle into her arms for a cuddle. Meep was a tiny grey mouse lemur with enormous golden eyes and a long velvety tail. Look, there's Zoe with Meep there. See Meep's long tail. Very cuddly, I think. Great Uncle Horace had rescued Meep when he was just a baby and had brought him to the rescue zoo. Now Meep lived in the cottage with Zoe and was her very best friend. "Meep has been especially mischievous today," Lucy told Zoe as they continued along the path. "Mr. Pinch brought a very tasty-looking blueberry muffin in this morning for his breakfast. Then this week's fruit delivery arrived and he went to supervise it. When he came back, his muffin was gone. Mr. Pinch was very cross." She shook her head at the little lemur. He didn't know what had happened to it, but I noticed that Meep's paws were covered in crumbs. I think Meep had taken Mr. Pinch's blueberry muffin. Oh no! Zoe couldn't help laughing and hugged Meep closer. Mr. Pinch was the zoo manager and was always grumpy. Meep loved teasing him. As they arrived at the cottage, Lucy handed Zoe's school bag back to her. "I've got to go and check on the leopard now, so I'll leave you two to have fun. Be home in time for tea." She planted a quick kiss on Zoe's head and tickled Meep's soft little belly. "Okay, Mum," Zoe smiled as she watched Lucy dash away towards the zoo hospital. Once she was out of sight, Zoe stepped inside the cottage and grinned at Meep. The cheeky little lemur leapt from her shoulder and scampered over to the bowl of fruit on the kitchen table. Look, there's Meep on the bowl of fruit. Oh dear, I know what's happening next. "Yummy," he chirped, peeling a banana with his nimble fingers. "Blueberry muffins are nice, but I like bananas best." Zoe giggled. It was always fun to be by herself with Meep or any of the animals at the rescue zoo. When other people weren't around, she didn't have to hide their amazing secret. Zoe knew that animals could talk to people and that just a few special people could talk back to them. That's amazing. And Zoe was one of them. Can you imagine that, Annabel? Being able to talk and have a conversation with animals. Perhaps down at the wildlife park. Oh, that would be fantastic. Anyway, Zoe is one of those very special people. So I'm going to end this chapter now. So next time we'll have a reading about chapter 2, which is going to be Mr. Pinch's plan. I don't know what that's going to be, but I don't think it's going to be very, very good for Zoe. So lots of love from me and from Granny, and lots of love to Mummy and Daddy and Oscar. And I hope to see you soon, Annabel. Happy birthday again. Bye from Grandpa. Bye.